and welcome to the Frivolous and Frugal Knitting Podcast. We are two sisters who share our fondness for knitting, the things that we create, and the love we have for the knitting community. And we do it all with a little twist of both the frivolous and the frugal. I am Frivolous Dawn, and in our family's birth order, I am the fourth of eight. Okay, hold on. And the middle child and the baby princess, all in one.
Oh my goodness, that means you are the golden child. Oh, does that confirm it or what? And for the record, I am not the golden child. I am the rust child. I am child number 1 in the birth order, and my name is Frugal MsPenny. We are so happy that you're joining us, and a hearty welcome back to those of you who have previously tuned in and are subscribers. We're so glad you're with us, and we're hoping, as always, that you have a nugget or two that you can take away from all of our meanderings about our adventures. And if you're a first-time viewer, welcome. We're excited that you found us, whether by accident or intention. And we hope that you have a nugget or two that you glean for the next several minutes as we share with you in episode 67 some of our fiber frolics. So without further ado, grab your knitting, your favorite note-taking device, a sense of humor, and a mental picture of what it's like to be the baby princess, middle child, and number 4 as you think about Frivolous Dawn for episode 67. Take it away.
Here's the problem with being the middle child. My goodness. It's a syndrome. So this is no. Mom said that when they came to the house to do the 1970 census, when they knocked on the door, she was taking a nap, so they woke her up. She could not remember my name for the census. She could remember the other 7, could not remember my name. So I am probably in the 1970 census as Gus.
Yeah. You probably are.
Probably not. See, it's not all golden child. So.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, well, why don't you tell us what your Miss Opal is wearing?
Well, she is wearing what I cannot wear today because of the humidity and the temperature, but this is Changing Light by Jennifer Weissman. That was a knit along that you and I did. We bought our yarn at ZK 2018, was it?
I would think.
And yeah, we decided to do this in Suburban Stitcher. So mine is done in the colorways Cowl, Rorschach, and Surrey Silk. I knit mine on a US 5. I don't know what you knit yours on, Dawn, but on the Frugalometer, I gave it a 4 for fiber. It's an indie dyed fiber. And I gave it a 3 for the pattern on the Frugalometer. So what about you? What about your Changing Light?
This is my Changing Light too. So I did use a US 5. Unlike you, I should have took your lead and added extra rows. It's not long enough for me to wrap around my neck, so I would wear it down like this. And I think I'd have to wear a shawl cuff to keep it in place. Now, the black and white is Suburban Stitcher for me in that Rorschach color. And the red and the black are Leading Men Fiber Arts in their show stealer base. I think the black's called Darkest Night or Darkest Hour. And then the red is called Poison Apple. That is a lovely red, by the way.
It is beautiful, even from here.
Yeah. And I would agree with your Frugalometer.
Oh, would you? Oh, good. And by the way, I really like the shawl collar or cuff. Yeah. I think that's how I'd wear mine, even though I extended it. I like that.
Yeah, I'm starting to use those more for those long rectangles that I just did not knit long enough. So if I had to guess, this is probably around like 70. I'd have to look, but 70, maybe mid 70s. I like 100 if I want to go around my neck. And if I go around my neck, most of those shawls stay in place then.
I would agree. Yeah. And speaking of around your neck, Dawn, what's around your neck?
A hickey. Do you want to see it?
Come on, stay on track.
Do they even talk about that anymore? I don't know. Anyway, this is a Sea Gleam. This was part of Helen Stewart's Shawl Society 4, I think. And this was one of the first shawls. Lovely yarn. It's a crescent shape. shawl. Again, not probably my length, what I like, but it works nice around your neck. Not bad for a day like today where it's going to get warm. I can loosen it. This was the yarn that she recommended, which means it's European. Yes. Hedgerow yarns. And the color was Enchanted Garden. And I think if I remember right, that whole Shawl Society was written off that book, right?
Secret Garden, I believe it was.
Secret Garden. And so it's a lovely pale, pale, pale pink. Let's see if I can get it a little closer. It just has tiny little flecks of color in it.
Oh, it does.
Yep.
I like that.
And the Hedgerow yarn's base is called Silky Twist. I love a high twist yarn.
I do too.
As far as stitch definition, and silk is just anymore like a given, right? I love the drape. So that had to be several years ago. That was knit on a US 6. I'm sure I followed the pattern. Those were the days where we did the Shawl Society, right? And just kept right up with most of them. So those days are long gone.
They are. And for the record, you were much more consistent in the Shawl Societies than I was. So you would complete all 6 patterns.
Yeah,
I rarely did.
And then I got a little picky after that, as far as I don't wear bulky shawls. So it made no sense for me to do a bulky weight or an Aran weight shawl. Didn't wear them.
Right.
But yeah, and I'm hearing nice things about her current Shawl Society. I did not do it. So I'm going to probably just sit back and watch. And if there's a pattern I like, I'll pick it up when they go on for individual sale.
Absolutely. So I have to ask, what's on your needles right now?
It's on my needles. Okay.
I do not recognize it.
Yeah, it's new since the last time we played.
Oh, imagine that. Oh.
So interesting. I think in one of our virtual knit nights, I must have commented that I was knitting with this Lang Splash. It is a ribbon yarn, if I had to call it that. It has these little, let me see if I can show you. Along the lines of the yarn, there's, oh, here we go, like little blobs of color.
Okay.
It gets really thick. And then throughout the yarn, these little blobs get closer together and then farther away. Now, blobs isn't a good word, but this yarn has zero give. Zero elasticity. I would call it a ribbon yarn. I like the look of it. I don't necessarily like knitting with it, but help me with our viewer, Textile Grad.
Oh, yes, Miss Luann.
Luann, yeah, she sent this to me where she saw it at her yarn shop. Somebody used this yarn for this cowl.
Wait a minute. Is that a COFO too?
No, no, I'm still working on it. My needles are still attached.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm impressed.
So several people have knit, it's Silver Thimble in Green Bay, the yarn shop I go to. They did this yarn for the boneyard.
Oh.
And it looks, you just see how like it gets more dense in areas and then lighter. So there's no rhyme or reason to that I could try to figure out where to place it. So you kind of lose the purl ridges every once in a while, but I think it's doable for this pattern. I'm hoping to get it done in one skein. I'll see if that's the case. I'm doing the second to the last section. If I'm close to one skein, I may just end the ribbing a row or two early. If you wanted just to use one hank. Now, discontinued. Silver Thimble still has some, but I was thinking it'd be a nice one skein project for anybody. So I would call this, I see the price tag right on here. I'd probably call that a 3 on the Frugalometer. The pattern, I believe, was free.
Oh, okay. I have a question. If one would like to do that cowl, would you suggest a cowl, a fiber without give? Or would you say, if I were to do it again, I would like something with a bit of drape?
Yep. Drape or plumpness, either one. Now I'm going to show you the pattern again. It has bobbles. There was no reason to put bobbles with this yarn, but I don't know if you can kind of see the bobbles along here.
Oh, yes.
Now the pattern was knit in Brooklyn tweed.
Okay.
But I like it in a solid if you want to show off the bobbles. If you don't, I just think the busier the yarn, you're going to lose a little bit of that. So it all depends. I don't know why I'm into cowls lately, but I am in. So the one up here on my board is going to be my next one. Let's see if I can get there.
Which one is that?
It's Cowl Mizzou.
Oh, yes, you've been talking about that.
So I want to do that next. Yes. So anyway, this was nice. This is on a US 8, I believe. Let me change my page here. Yeah, US 8. So it's working up fast. So I gave the pattern $1 sign on the frugalometer, the yarn a 3. I will definitely have this done, I would think, and blocked for the next podcast. But yeah, so what's on your needles?
Woohoo! Please see episode 66, 65, 64. Actually, it is Tenacity, as you all know. It is an Auntie's knit along. I'm sorry, I couldn't get that out. This pattern is by Cold Comfort Knits. And quite honestly, I think you just need to see it up close because it is a beautiful pattern. This shawl I'm knitting in Valley Yarns in the Charlemont base has a little bit of silk in it. And I think it's a very affordable silk fiber. Not totally silk, but it's affordable. Definitely meets my criteria for on the frugal side. And I'm knitting it in the raspberry rose colorway on size 2s, using for the very first time Prim needles. And I continue to believe that they have helped me loosen. They are loosening my gauge because there's a bit of drag on the needles. And when I'm using a slippery needle, when I pull my yarn, it tightens it up. So it's not doing that. And I'm very pleased with the pattern, with the fiber and frugalometer. I believe that it gets a 4 for the fiber and a 3 for the pattern.
Boy, when you showed that up close, that is a perfect picture of that pattern.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that was stunning.
Okay. I'm going to let you correct me, but I just have to show my sister that I am listening to her. This was my progress in July. I know she gave me the monthly markers. I just can't find them. So since I'm monogamous, it will look like I'm knitting quite a bit, but I'm really not.
Okay, so several people have asked who's going to finish first. So feel free to post it in the comments below between the three of us.
Well, if you were able to attend our Chicago meetup, you quickly saw that mine is a midget compared to yours and Miss Brianna's.
Yeah, from where we were. I wonder if I can figure out how to put that picture in.
Oh, you could try.
But it was fun to see all three of them.
It was fun.
Next to each other. Because I think Brianna's is pink until I see yours. And then hers barely looks pink.
I would agree. It's a pinkish taupe, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. So
yes. So that's what's on my needles. What else is on your needles?
By the way, Tenacity is by Cold Comfort Knits.
Cole. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So next on my needles, I'll just give you the update on Glamour. Glamour is another pattern by Jennifer Weissman. I guess we like her today.
Yeah, we do.
A poncho, it's knit as a long rectangle. It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry, and I am using Rowan felted tweed in color 200, which is the Barbara. So you'll see the pattern at the bottom. It's hard to see. Just this little stripe of a lace, and then this lace, I don't know what you would call it, a lace design.
Yeah, chevron lace almost.
So the little markers you're seeing are repeats. I need to do 18 repeats. I just finished repeat 13 on the way to 18. It's measuring 46 inches, I think, and I have to go to 66. Yeah, and I think there's where I was last time, what that marker was.
Oh, wow.
Heading this way. I was hoping to do a repeat every 2 days, but.
Wait a minute. You knit that 18 inches in 2 weeks?
Well, yeah, but I wanted to do a half a repeat a day, and obviously that didn't happen.
Oh my goodness, Dawn.
Yeah, I did tink back a little bit. I did at the mini meetup.
Well, that was the theme for the weekend. Knits a lot, tinks even more.
Yes, that was definitely the case. Okay, so this was on a US size 4 and 5. again, it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I'd call it 3 on the frugalometer, and Rowan felted tweed, I would go 4 on the frugalometer. For those of you who would like to do Rowan felted tweed, their colors are stunning, but remember they're 50-gram balls. So when you look at what is needed, on my project page in Ravelry, I did increase 18 more stitches just in the body of the shawl because I wanted a little longer. I won't know if I need to add repeats until I get there. So I'm hoping, if so, I have enough yarn because I want to.
I'm sorry. I have a question about Rowan felted tweed.
Yeah.
We compared your Gleimer with Miss Irene's.
Yeah.
Do you believe your Rowan felted tweed is going to have as much drape as hers?
Nope.
You don't. Okay.
Nope. It won't have as much drape. The other thing, I'd love to know if anybody else does this. When I knit with Rowan felted tweed, beautiful yarn, they say it's worsted. If it is, it's a light worsted. It dries out my hands.
Ooh,
so it's amazing. When I was talking to Joyce from 3-Ply, she said the exact same thing. So it's just kind of funny because, you know, when you're knitting, you don't think too much about it. And then when you say it out loud and everybody or somebody else says that they experience the same thing.
Right.
I think Rowan may have like 14 colorways in felted tweed. And this fall, one of their new yarns is felted tweed with mohair blown in. All right, I need to knit 1 or 10 things out of that.
I'm surprised you don't have a little queue of things you'd like to knit out of them.
Well, I think it'll be interesting to see when patterns start to post that use it, because I think for me, I'm very visual, as you know, and I really like to see them. So this probably will not be done next week, maybe 2 weeks.
Woo!
No.
And what else is on your needles?
The last thing is the Indira cowl. Now this is, did I put a picture up for this? I don't know if I did. I've been working on this. This is, I guess I don't have a picture. Oh, that color is amazing. If I do say so myself. This is Indira by Vanessa Smith Designs. That is actually fairly true to color right there. Wow.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
It is the depth of this color. So it's Lobby and Aimée. So definitely a splurge there. And the fingering weight and then the same color held with mohair. The color is called Blue Royale. You can see I've now finished. It was interesting to do the grafting because you had to graft through lace and cables. I did not do a perfect job, but if you didn't know and you were behind me, I don't think your eye would go to any major errors.
Well, and if they're behind you and you can see those errors, that better be someone you know well. I
think it was a 48-step graft because you had knits on one needle, pearls on the other. It was just, she wrote it very well. Now, so I'm done with the cables. Now I'm putting a rib all the way around. It calls for like 14 rows. I'm going to be playing yarn chicken. So again, I'm just going to go till I run out of yarn. This is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. Again, great, a well-written pattern. It's both written and charted. I usually follow the writing or the written word. I follow the written word. I'm just kind of interested in where everybody is too with cable needles. Do you use them? Do you not use them? Which ones do you like? The ones with the bend in them, the curve in them, no curve, just wood?
Well, can I take a pause and ask a spontaneous question?
Sure.
Should we make that our question then for the episode 68 giveaway? If that's really a burning question of yours, we can change it.
Sure. All
right, let's do it.
Okay, it looks like a beard. Okay.
Beard.
You guys, 5 on the frugalometer for the yarn. And paid for pattern. I'll look. I probably gave it a 3 on the frugalometer. Okay. And again, I don't know if I said the right name. It's Vanessa Smith.
You did.
Okay.
Vanessa Smith Designs. Yes.
Designs, yeah. So I'm hoping this will be off the needles, and gosh, the yarn again was a splurge, but it was delightful to work with. So I think I might actually keep this one for myself.
Oh, I think you should.
I don't wear a lot
I
of
think-
blue, but
Well, but it's a nice color, Dawn. It's complimentary.
I might just sleep in it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've done that with several of your projects.
maybe. So I say to Steve, isn't this really nice, lobby Aimée? And he's like, I have no idea what you were talking about.
That's a good thing.
Smile and wave. All right, that is all. I think that's all that's on my needles.
Wow. Very nice. Well, thank you. The next question is, you know this. What's off your needles, Dawn?
It's done.
It is. No, it's not done. Well, yes, it's done.
It's,
The project is done, but you're finished.
There you go.
There you go.
Muffins are finished. Muffins are done. Okay. Vertices Unite by Stephen West. Yeah.
Very, very pretty, Dawn.
I'm telling you, it was fun at the mini meetup to see everybody's. I'm telling you, each one is as stunning as the next. And I don't say that just lightly. Was it Miss Deb that finished hers while we were there? She was doing the I-cord.
Beautiful.
I did do the large size, the purple, and the purple speckle, the white with purple speckles was by Direful Yarns, and the slasher base. And the pink, the gray, and the gray speckled was all from Emma's yarn in her silk base. The colorways are all listed on my project page. I made no modifications with the exception of I went up 2 needle sizes for the I-cord bind off, and I still would like it thicker. So I guess he does a video on how to make it thicker if you wanted. So, on the floor, not stretched, 90 inches long, 27 inches deep. Yeah, perfect for me. Boy, it's that pop of color, isn't it?
It is. It is the pop of color. I would agree.
This, as you guys know, this pattern messed with my head because that rectangle was not knit as a rectangle. It was knit on the bias, I think is the term. And if you really want practice picking up stitches, this is the project for you. Otherwise, I followed the pattern as written. I used a US size 4. I think I ended up, I'd have to look, why do I think 1900 yards? I had left over in all of the colorways. I'm tempted to do another one of those color shift cowls where you just use up your scraps, because that would be a beautiful way to do that.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, I might have to sleep with this one too. I had this draped over the couch for a while. But then,
Ooh, that's a great way to show it.
yeah, but I fear the cat.
Oh, yes.
Although she's so old that she doesn't jump much anymore. So.
Oh, but we know she has a sweet tooth for cashmere.
Oh, she does. Yes.
Yeah,
Bless her kicking heart. Frugalometer 3 for the pattern and 4 for the yarn. And this is a Vertices Unite knit along we're doing. And you know what? We didn't really put an end date on it. So I think we'll just keep it going. And Penny will talk more about how we're going to do a little shift in that knit along as we go to. So Vertices Unite by my dear Stephen West. All right. Now the other things off my needles are just little projects.
Well, we want to see them.
Megan Jane, this was a hat that you picked early on in 45 Hats by 45 Designers. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. It is great for beginning color work. Look at that hat.
I know, Dawn. Every time I see it, I like it more.
And why did it said I casted this on in May. What did I do with it till now? I don't know. Anyway, gosh, that color is just a tad tealer than it's showing up. Let me tell you about the yarn. It is, I have the little ball band somewhere. Sure I do. Haiku, right? Haiku, simply, I'm just gonna look. Simply Solids. So I used, this is called Nile. That's actually a better color of it. They come in 50 gram skeins. You only need 1 skein of the main color. And look at, I used white. Look how much extra I have of that one skein. So it is a super wash. So that hat I thought looked big. When I got it done, I threw it in the washer and the dryer and it's perfect. I probably will put a pom-pom on it. I probably will teach a class on that at Silver Thimble too, just for beginning color work. I think it's a great pattern, easily adjustable. I would give that yarn a, what did I give it? 2. Yeah.
Mhm.
Again, 50 gram skeins, one of each. You know, the pattern is written using Malabrigo Rios. So I bet people have enough of that in their stash.
Now I have a question, Dawn. Where do you, it's putting you totally on the spot. Do you remember what you did your first Megan Jane in? Which fiber did you use?
I think it was Rios.
It was Rios.
Didn't I do a purple one?
Comparing, which one do you prefer?
I like the feel of this one better.
Okay.
Rios always makes me a tad nervous when I wash it.
As it should.
No, big old pom-pom, don't you think? But that's got a pretty top.
That's a pretty top. If will a pom-pom, well, I guess you don't often see the top of a hat, but I don't want it to distract from that. That's very pretty.
Now, why sit here and pet it? Oh, to put mohair in that white.
No.
Yeah.
Dawn.
Now, I would say if I knit it again, which I probably am not, I may try it with a little strand of some extra mohair laying around.
Well, if you teach the class, I have a hunch you will knit another one. That, yeah, just come right out and say it. We learned that in our 12-step programs. Yes, my next hat will be. Just call it what it is.
That yarn is just in solids, nice contrast. You could go mellow contrast, high contrast. Again, any worsted weight. Again, free pattern. So one on the Frugalometer, and it's knit on a 6 and an 8. I'm always interested in ribbing. I wonder what that would look like with the 1x1 twisted.
Just remember, 1x1 does not have the negative ease that a 2x2 has.
I always think
And-
a 2x2 fits the best.
Mhm.
Looks the worst for pictures. Because hey, Instagram, right? Okay, now
So,
last but not least is my feeble attempt at a design. Well, not really even a design. Let me show you. So this is the bandana cowl by Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern. It
Okay.
doesn't look like this on the pattern. So this was a 7 skein gradient that's put out by Shawl. And it's called the Zauber Plurin or something. I can't pronounce it. And so it was a gradient and it went from a solid pink and then up through, you know, obviously more blue is added until you get to the very end where it's all blue. And so I was tempted to just do a simple pattern using that kit, if you will. Nice yarn, by the way, but here's the problem. I ran out of yarn. So do you see these decreases?
yes.
In the pattern, you do a decrease row and then a rest row, a decrease row, rest row. So this should be double or triple. The actual pattern says a decrease row, then 2 rounds of knitting, a decrease row. A lot of people put in their comments that they decreased to 1 because it was getting too tall or too long. I have
Okay.
the opposite problem. It is very short. So I don't know if I would do it again.
All right. So let me ask you a question then. With your, well, let me just say this. Was the pattern yardage accurate? And did you have enough fiber?
Well, the pattern calls for Aran weight. I had fingering. So I held fingering triple. So I
Okay.
just grabbed the first 3 balls in the gradient and just started knitting. If I were to do it again, I would hold 2 strands.
All right.
And I would keep the same needle size. This is pretty dense, but if I use the same needle size, it would be drapier. Also, the pattern did not have ribbing on the top and bottom. It had a garter ridge. I like the look of ribbing better, but you'll see the problem with it. For me, it looks like a bib I would be handed at a crab place. Yeah. So I would want it to be a little whiter and a little drapier. Now it's not horrid. I just don't know if I would, you know, yeah, I don't know how you wear these. How's that?
I don't, just scrunch it up like you got out of bed.
Oh yeah, okay.
right? It's just what it is. And I think as you move around, it kind of situates itself. Now
Now,
that looks like you have a huge stiff collar there,
yeah,
but it doesn't look tight.
it's not tight. And could you help me with this right here?
Uh,
Gorilla glue or something. The other thing is I did not pay attention. I should have known that I was starting at the bottom. I would have flipped these colors. Or I wonder if you wanted to hold 3 strands, you took 1 strand of a neutral and held 2 strands from the gradient. That would stretch your yarn out too to give you more yardage. Oh, here, you'll be so impressed with this, Penny.
oh, will I?
This is all 3 total leftover.
Woo, look at
I
you.
can't imagine that would even go a gram. So good.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
they come in beautiful colorways. They have yellows, they have blues, they have pinks, they have grays. There are some patterns written with it. So I was just kind of messing around at Silver Thimble. So
Okay.
again, that's a free pattern. It's called the Bandana Cowl by Pearl Soho. So I'd call that a 1 on the frugalometer. It was knit on a US 10, so that made it fast. And I used the yarn, I gave a 3 on the frugalometer. So,
Okay.
but my obsession with cowls continues. Cowls and ponchos and Stephen West shawls. Ta-da!
And Melanie Berg and Mohair and Silk. Dawn,
Okay.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Okay. All right. Uh-huh. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
All right. So that is all that's on my needles.
Well, my goodness, you've been one busy woman.
Now it's time for you to talk. What are you learning?
All right. I am learning quite a bit, but I believe the most in my face lesson has been the power of presence.
Oh,
Because I am learning, I know that's a cliche term right now. Everybody says you need to be present. I think that in my knitting journey, the power of being present with others while I'm knitting, the power of seeing something, being present with it, touching it, seeing it, looking at others wearing it. Boy, I left our mini meetup thinking, oh my goodness, I've missed this.
yeah.
To touch, to be with the fabric, to be with the yarn and the fiber, to see people actually, what do you call it? Styling what they've knit. To me, that's priceless. I have missed that. And I believe that's something that online features do not have. Although we're ordering many of our fibers online, I'm not so sure that it's a true picture of it. Often the colors are different. Often the way the garment is styled is different. I can't see dimensionally what I'm looking at, whether it's the fiber or the pattern or the color. I really have found that I need presence in my knitting. Yeah, in all aspects.
That was powerful when we did our little impromptu show and tell, to literally get to try it on, or to, like you said, to feel it, to see people's color choices. You know, so many people came back from Elgin Knitworks saying how delightful to work with people at Elgin who helped them pick colors that I probably would not have known to grab one from this wall, one from another. So Betsy and her mom, Linda, are amazing. And then we chatted about how not all yarn shops have that, right?
No,
Or
they
you
don't.
definitely don't get that online.
No, I would
No.
agree.
But I loved, oh my gosh, I came out of there wanting to do a dozen more things.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what are you learning?
Well, paging Dr. Knitter. So I happened to make a few mistakes while at the mini meetup. And one of them was on my lovely Indira. I had cables twisted the wrong way. And so you know how you play that game with yourself? Oh, it's the back of the cowl. Nobody will ever see it. Well, I couldn't let it go, because no, my luck, it'd be you behind me at the grocery store. And you're like, is that cable going wrong? Okay, so I didn't want to tear out all those rows. It was 12 rows back and mohair. I didn't want to do that. So I watched some videos on how to just drop down. So I got to the cable section, changed over to double points, and I just pulled out 12 stitches down 12 rows. And then I just redid it up. Now I watched Roxanne Richardson's YouTube video on fixing errors, and she recommended dropping down a needle size or 2 because you're not going to have a lot of extra yarn to work with. And so I did that. It made it a little loose, but now you can't see where it was. So it eventually just, reabsorbed and went back to a normal tension. So if that wasn't bad enough, I fixed that. I look at Gleamer. I did the same thing. So I had to do surgery on that as well. But for the amount of time it took just to rip back those stitches and knit them back up, far faster than ripping out entire rows and fixing it. So that was the first time I think I've done surgery. Nervous the first time, but the more you do it like anything else, the better that is. So you think after all these years I would know, work on simple stuff for public knitting, Dawn?
No, we're slow learners.
Man, why did I take that stuff? Because I think, oh, I can do it. I can focus. I can't even do it with knitting with the aunties. Why did I think?
No, we were all tinking last night. Oh my goodness. Well, thanks for sharing what you learned. I just have several things to go over because, as you know, we never lack for anything to do. So what's up with Frivolous and Frugal? I'm about to tell you. We are quickly approaching 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. Once we hit that, we're going to have a nice big giveaway or 2 or 3. We also have an upcoming YouTube giveaway. So we would like you to comment in this episode about what is your favorite cable needle. Do you like straight? Do you like bent? Do you like variable size? Which brand do you like most? If you will put that in the comments for this episode, we will randomly choose a winner for our giveaway during episode 68. Also, we still have the ongoing Finish, Fix, Flip, or Frog It Cowl, which, by the way, again, if you need any inspiration or you want to be wowed by people's ingenuity and that trifecta of when your color, your pattern, and your fiber don't fit, so they flip it and turn it into something different. If you would like to see that, you need to go to our thread. Our next giveaway for that is actually going to be in episode 70. So make sure that you put something in that thread. We have a new pattern for our August hat cowl. Again, that is something that is ongoing. You don't need to just post pictures of the current hat pattern. Put in any others, maybe even others you'd like us to, to consider, because we're not sure. This may be an ongoing cowl. But if you're knitting with us, this month's pattern is going to be After the Frost Beret by Melanie Berg. It is a paid for pattern in Ravelry, and we're encouraging you to join. That thread is open. Also, we still have our ongoing ornament cowl. Our August ornament pattern is going to be Christmas Baubles by Claire Slade. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. And we will likely choose giveaways for those next week for those who participated in July. All right. The Sweet Little Nothing cowl is officially closed. Thank you for all those who participated. And thank you, Miss Pink, for moderating and really walking alongside of us as we knit it. It was such a treat. Also, the Shoulder Cozy cowl is closed. We're going to lock those threads on Ravelry. You are still welcome to peruse and look at pictures and comments, but we will likely pick a winner for that next episode as well. So actually, Dawn, we need to make sure that we don't forget to do that next knitting with the aunties. I'm writing it down. All right. As Dawn mentioned earlier, Vertices Unite was supposed to be kicked off. Actually, we did kick it off in August, but what we have decided to do, and you have got to hear this story, we have decided to expand this knit along. And by the way, thank you, Miss Cheryl, for your suggestion. It was brilliant, so we are using it. She suggested to us that maybe, since there are so many of Stephen West shawls we would like to knit, that we should have a West along. Choose any Stephen West shawl, cast it on, and not only will you be able to knit what you want to knit, but we will be able to see a wide variety of shawls. So someone you know very well sent her dear Stephen West a message and asked him if she could use his name in the cowl. And Dawn, what was his response? We want it word for word, by the way.
Oh, I don't know if I have it word for word. He said, of course you can. And I look forward to see what you make.
You have it memorized. I knew you did.
I have it framed.
So actually, it is a wide open cowl. Any Stephen West pattern, feel free to upload it, ask for suggestions, whatever in the thread. And we haven't decided how often we're going to do giveaways for that, but as we are moved, we will do that. Also, I wanted to let you know that we mentioned very briefly in episode 66, hats for sailors. And that you're going to notice my eyes shift because I'm going to pull the PDF up on my screen. But the title of this knit along is actually 6,000 Hats for Sailors. And essentially this group has picked an aircraft carrier of Marines, Coast Guard, and naval personnel, and they would like to give a hat to each person on ship. So we have decided that if anyone would like to join us in that, you are welcome to do so. We have to mail our hats to them no later than November 12th. They have on their website, and the link is in our show notes, suggested patterns. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that they sincerely suggest and really require is that those hats be made out of fibers that are machine washable and dryable. Because on ship, I have a hunch that some of those individuals probably didn't bring their wool wash with them. So they'll just need to use their own laundry detergent. And I will post my mailing address so that as we near that date, you can mail them to me and then I will mail them to the organization. So that's another knit along if you're interested in supporting our men and women in the military. Now, I also made an error in previous notes and podcasts regarding Dawn's Tuesday night Zoom sessions. I thought they were on the second and fourth Tuesday. She thought they were on the first and third Tuesday. So out of the graciousness of her heart, she has opened it up every Tuesday. So if you would like to join us and you are working on any of our knit alongs, hop on Zoom. That link is in Ravelry from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And as I understand it, it has been a delightful Tuesday evening of knitting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're welcome to join us again. It's all about knitting and it's about encouraging one another. So if you want to join, please pop in. Our virtual knit night for August has been canceled. It was scheduled for August 14th, but that is the night of a family reunion. So we have canceled that. We are still holding our August daytime virtual knit together. That is going to be on Saturday, August 28th from 10 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time. As always, choose your own level of participation. I will post the link to the Zoom session approximately an hour before the event starts. And I have to tell you, it is 2 hours of nothing but talk about knitting. It will leave you full of ideas, inspiration, even hopefully some questions. We hope you leave with some questions, because almost always, Dawn, somebody asks questions the next event. And we really enjoy that, because all the members have different perspectives and experiences. So we can give you like 14 opinions, boy, in a nanosecond, and suggestions and ideas. So please do that. Again, it is 2 hours devoted to nothing but talk about knitting. So please feel free to join us. Our question for that event is going to be, in addition to what's on or off your needles, what is your favorite knitting event and why? So we have learned about many different events haphazardly throughout our events, but this will give you an opportunity to share and let us know, because I'm sure there are some online events that we know nothing about. We're looking forward to seeing you if you can join us for that. And then I would say, Dawn, we don't have any other KALS unless I've forgotten something.
I don't think so. Yeah, just the ongoing ones. And I'll change the Vertices Unite over to West Along in September.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we can do that in September.
Yeah.
All right. So a couple of other housekeeping items. I think the poster behind me says it all. Thank you so much for all of you who joined us for our Chicago mini meetup. Oh, Dawn, how would you summarize the weekend?
You always talk about leaving with a full cup or a full heart. I'm telling you, that was an amazing 2.5 days of knitting with friends and building the knitting community and getting to meet face to face, new friends, people we'd seen in virtual events. Yeah, I don't know. The 3-ply ladies were amazing to help us with all of that. So I don't know if I could put into words. I'll try to put together a little montage or something, but of pictures, if I can figure out how to do that. I don't know. I just think it was what we wanted it to be.
Yes, and I couldn't have said it any better. So thank you for wrapping it up like that. And if you do not watch and subscribe to the 3-Ply podcast, we encourage you to do that. And in honorable mentions, I will tell you others that we want to thank. We want to thank all of you who attended, all of you who sent well wishes via virtual or social media. I know FOMO was raging, and I have to tell you, it should have been. I mean, it was just a full weekend of choosing your own level of participation. It was very relaxed. It was great also, don't you think, Dawn, to put faces and names with people we'd only seen comments or posts from. Yeah. It was just great. It was great. And as we mentioned, not only those of you who sent us well wishes, we want to sincerely thank Miss Irene, Miss Joyce, and Miss Angie for their support. They literally ran shuttles back and forth, not only to Elgin Knitworks, but to diners in eating facilities. So ladies, thanks for helping with the lay of the land. Also, we did have a presence from another podcast. It was the Flock Around the Table ladies. We also want to thank Miss Betsy and Miss Linda again at Elgin Knitworks. Yeah. Not only did they help our attendees, but I got to tell you, Miss Betsy dropped off some goodies for us. Who does that these days? Miss Betsy. And let me just say this. If you haven't gone to Elgin Knitworks website, and if you have not perused their kits or their fibers, if you're considering an online purchase, would you please put them at the top of your list? Sincerely, their heart is for the knitting community as much as ours is. I also want to thank those who helped us set up and tear down without even being asked. You and I'm going to say ladies, not that men weren't invited, but only ladies showed up. You helped make our work much easier. And thank you to those of you who contributed snacks, brought different types of tea for the tea table. Thank you to those who also brought items for the put and take table. What a blessing. And humbly and sincerely, we want to thank everyone who donated to help defray the cost of renting the room.
Yeah.
That was unexpected. It was a blessing to us. And just so you know, the donations were right on target. They were exactly the amount.
Yeah,
that
that was
it
amazing.
took to rent the room. Now, wasn't that cool?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was.
it was very good. So I want to make sure that you know that we are sincerely grateful, and even to those of you, and especially to those of you who slipped us sweet little notes and cards, and for those of you who made long journeys to join us. After we have conferred, this won't be the last. So we are going to do this again. We are entertaining several ideas and locations and timed events. So we'll keep you posted. Anything you want to say? Anything? Nope. Okay.
Yep, that was good.
Oh, well, thank you. Also, happy anniversary to us. This is our 3rd year podiversary. Woohoo! We are so excited. It only took us 3 years to get to 67 episodes. Yeah, that might tell you something about our temperaments. But thank you, our dear sister, faithful Nikki, for your support from episode 1 all the way through episode 67. We couldn't do it without you. And might I say thank you to both you, Nikki, and Miss Donna for spending the weekend with us. I believe people sincerely enjoyed getting to know you two and chatting with you. And we also have to say sincere thanks to our dear Miss Brianna, fearless Miss Brianna. Of course, you know, she was the hit of the weekend. She's just so cute and just knits up a storm. So thank you, darling, for spending the weekend with people 2 and 3 times your age.
Exactly.
We enjoyed it. And I think she might have enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
So those are honorable mentions. I wanted to make sure. And then we don't so much have an honorable mention, but we do have a sad mention. It breaks our heart to say that our dear Pearl has departed. She's no longer with us. And my ode to Pearl is, no one could take your place. She has been the face, literally, and the eyes, the smoky eyes of Frivolous and Frugal for 3 years, but she has departed. So I am putting out a call to anyone who might have another 6'2" mannequin with smoky eyes and maybe other features that I don't need to go into detail with, who might be another face for Frivolous and Frugal. I am looking for someone. No one will replace her, and it saddens me that she's gone. But if you have any links to another mannequin, please let me know. Okay. I might even be willing to drive and pick one up.
Maybe this next one's arms can stay on.
Oh, that would help. Oh, yes. Yeah, because, and she does need to be separated or separatable at the waist so she can sit in my passenger side when I'm going down the road. Yeah. So we do have a little criteria, but if you have a link, please put it in the post. Oh, well, no, just message me. Okay. I think I've recovered from that sad bye. Now, do you have any other honorable mentions, Dawn?
I don't. I'm just devastated that Pearl is gone to wherever mannequins go when they die.
Well,
nope.
I can't say it without feeling, but at our house, they go to the landfill. Sorry. Okay. No, I'm not sorry. Okay. We cannot end an episode without asking, what would Nikki say? And this week, her bit of encouragement to us is this: enjoy what you love to do and spend your precious time doing what you love. It will bring you so much happiness at the end of the day. And we said, amen. And at the end of the weekend and at the end of the month. It was a great way to end our summer spending time with you all in Chicago. So it's that time. Dawn and I and Miss Nikki and Miss Brianna hope that your week will be a sweet twist of the frivolous and frugal. And we look forward to seeing you in episode 68. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.